State Department official said the other day that the majority of Afghans who are special immigrant visa recipients were left in Afghanistan. I'm wondering if you have a specific number on that. When you said today that one option would be a third country for processing to cut through the bureaucracy, are U.S. taxpayers giving money to do that? How does that work? Mm-hmm. Is that just a theory on paper, or are things actually in process to get them out right now?
First of all, Margaret, good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. A few things on this. So I think, as you know, we have evacuated roughly 124,000 people. Many remain at the so-called lily pads as they're being processed and then moved, in many cases, onto the United States, or in some cases to other places. And given the premium that we put on getting people out as quickly and as safely as possible, but now the premium on once they're out and either at a lily pad or in some cases already in the United States, then really digging into exactly which categories they may fit into. Were they locally employed staff? Were they SIVs, Afghans at risk, potential P1 or P2 parolees, etc. All of that work now is what we're doing. So I can't give you specific numbers. What I can tell you is this: of the roughly 124,000 people who've been evacuated, the vast majority, 75, 80%, are Afghans at risk. And of those, some significant number will be SIVs, either people who already hold an SIV visa or those who are actually in the pipeline. Some number will be potential P1 or P2 refugees, and some other number will be Afghans at risk, prominent in one way or another, who may not fit into any of those categories. We're working through all of those numbers now, and again, I think we'll have more to say on that in the days and weeks ahead as we actually work through them. But the bottom line is, the overwhelming majority of people who came out of Afghanistan were Afghans at risk in one way or another, including a significant number of SIVs.
So for those who remain,
yeah,
that you were talking about, and potentially bring to a third country
mm-hmm.
for processing, what does that look like? What are you doing right now to get those SIVs who were left behind?
So, a few things on that. There are a lot of things happening, from the political to the practical, to enable us to continue to bring people out of Afghanistan who wish to leave, including, of course, any remaining American citizens who want to leave, including SIVs, including Afghans at risk, including also third country nationals who may be there. The political, I've already touched on, which is to say, working from the commitments that the Taliban has made. We have worked intensely across the international community to set a very clear international expectation of what the world is looking for from the Taliban when it comes to freedom of travel, now enshrined in, among other things, a UN Security Council resolution. That, by the way, is significant in a number of ways, one of which is that, as you know, the Taliban, among other things, is seeking sanctions relief, UN sanctions. It is seeking the ability for its leaders to travel freely, which, again, under UN sanctions, they currently cannot do, absent an exemption. And if a Taliban-led government is in violation of this latest Security Council resolution on freedom of travel, it's pretty hard to see how they would get, for example, that kind of relief. That's just one example. So that's part of the political piece. And we're in very, very active coordination with like-minded countries around the world, so that we continue to work together and use the leverage and influence we have to hold the Taliban to the commitments it's made. The practical, though, is also very important. Making sure that there is the ability for people to travel as a practical matter. The airport in Kabul, where a tremendous amount of work was done in the last days of the military evacuation operation to make sure that we got and then shared with other countries the very detailed information necessary for how to get the civilian airport up and running once we left, including even bringing the American contractors back who'd been running the airport for 20 years. And we've shared a tremendous amount of very detailed information, and some of our partner countries are now working to make that real. Second, looking, and I'm not going to go into detail here, but looking at different ways of being able to travel out of Afghanistan across land, and again, some of that will be self-evident, as well as making sure that we have very clear and precise plans to help people as necessary use those routes outside of Afghanistan. So all of that is being put into place as we speak.
Alex.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Secretary.